Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're jumping right in today with a real RC legend, the Tamiya Super HotShot.
Oh, yeah, an absolute icon.
Whether you've got the 2012 re-release or you're maybe just finding out about it, it's a special buggy. And today, well, we've got a mission.
We do. We want to figure out how to make your Super HotShot really handle, well, pretty much anything. Pavement, trails, you name it.
Exactly. This deep dive is really for you if you've ever thought, how do I get this thing to work everywhere?
Right. We've dug into the specs, looked at what the RC community says, trying to find those best combinations, wheels, tires, even the foam inserts.
The foams, yeah. People forget those sometimes.
They do, and they're crucial.
And let's be honest, finding that perfect setup, it's not always easy, is it?
No, it's tricky. Like, super grippy off-road tires might just melt on the street. Or feel really vague.
So our goal isn't just, listing parts. It's about finding combinations that actually work together. Synergy.
That's the word. We want synergy for confident driving, wherever you are.
So we're aiming to give you some clear, actionable advice today. Cut through some of the confusion.
Yeah, basically your shortcut to making good choices and getting the most fun out of that Super HotShot, regardless of the terrain.
Okay, let's start at the beginning then. The stock setup on the 2012 re-release. What are we looking at, wheels and tires-wise?
Okay, so straight out of the box, you've got spiked tires. They're 88 millimeters in diameter, front and rear.
88 mil, okay.
Yep, and the fronts are 31 millimeters wide. The rears are a bit wider, 38 millimeters.
Standard buggy setup, narrower front, wider rear.
Exactly. And they're on those, unmistakable gold metal-plated wheels.
Right, and the hubs. That was a big deal that changed from the original HotShot, wasn't it?
Huge. The 2012 version has the modern 12mm hexagonal hub system, a 12mm hex.
And why is that so important?
Well, it's basically the standard now for 1:10 scale. So the key thing for you is this opens up a massive world of aftermarket wheels and tires. It's just easy.
Unlike the old 3-pin system on the original.
Exactly. No weird adapters needed, usually. Just direct fit for tons of modern stuff.
Okay, so 12mm hex equals easy upgrades. Got it. And you mentioned the 88 millimeter tire diameter. Why keep that number in mind?
It's a really good benchmark. If you stick close to that 88 mil with your new tires, you're generally going to keep the buggy's original ride height. The gearing feels about right. The handling characteristics stay similar.
So it avoids any big surprises.
Pretty much. It's just a good reference point. And yeah, of course, these are hobby-grade tires, so they come with foam inserts. That's standard.
Right, for support.
Yeah, stops the tire collapsing. You see foams mentioned even with budget sets like Archidong, and you can even find, vintage Tamiya foams if you really want that specific feel.
Okay, so 12 millimeter hex, 88 millimeter diameter benchmark. Let's talk about choosing new wheels then. What are the key things we need to look out for?
Okay, several factors. First up is the bead diameter, where the tire actually sits on the wheel.
Right.
You really want to aim for the 2.2-inch standard. That's about 56 millimeters on the inside bead.
2.2-inch. Why that specific size?
It just gives you the absolute widest choice of tires. It's the standard for 110 buggy tires now.
Okay.
Now, be aware, sometimes manufacturers list the overall outer diameter of the rim, which might be, 57, maybe even 62 millimeters. But the crucial bit for fitting tires is that 2.2-inch 56 mil inner bead.
Got it. 2.2-inch bead for tire choice. What about wheel material?
Most common and probably the best balance for this kind of buggy is plastic. Usually a durable nylon or composite.
Why plastic?
Well, it's a great mix. It's lightweight, which helps performance. It's durable enough for bashing around, and it's, cost effective.
Makes sense.
You can get aluminum wheels. They look cool. They're very rigid, but they add weight, and that extra weight can kind of slow down your suspension reaction, hurt acceleration a bit, and they cost more.
So plastic is generally the way to go for balance.
Okay.
What about wheel width?
Width is important for steering and traction. Just like stock, you generally want narrower front wheels for precise steering.
Paired with narrower front tires.
Exactly. And then wider rear wheels to fit those wider rear tires for grip, for acceleration and stability.
Right. And we need that 12 millimeter hex again, obviously.
You got to match the hubs.
But you also mentioned offset. That sounds critical.
It is, and it's often overlooked. Offset is basically how far the wheel's mounting face sits in or out from the wheel's center line.
Okay.
If it's wrong, if the wheel sits too far in or too far out, the tire or the wheel itself can hit your suspension arms or the steering knuckles.
Oh, right. Especially when turning.
Exactly. At full lock or when the suspension compresses, it can literally stop the wheel turning properly. The Super HotShot has its own front-end geometry, so getting offset right is, well, vital.
So 12 millimeter hex gets it attached. Offset determines if it actually fits without rubbing.
You got it. Big source of frustration if you get it wrong.
Okay, offset. Duly noted. So keeping all that in mind, 12 hex, 2.2 bead, correct offset, what are some specific wheel options?
Okay, several good paths. First, you could look at the Tamiya DX03 wheels, or the dark impact wheels, same thing.
Tamiya parts, that sounds logical.
Yeah, fronts are about 25 millimeters wide, rears around 35 millimeter, both 62 millimeters outer diameter. Popular upgrade?
So is there a catch?
There's a potential one. The DF03 buggy actually has slightly wider suspension arms than some others. So on a super hot shot, you might get some rubbing on the inside wheel at full steering lock.
So maybe not a guaranteed fit?
Not guaranteed, no. Worth being aware of. Maybe try fitting them first, or look for a wheel with slightly less inward offset.
Okay, good heads up. What's another option?
JC Racing. They make 2.2-inch wheels specifically listed for the HotShot series, like their JC00506 model. Comes in different colors, too.
And because they're listed for the HotShot.
It's a good bet they've sorted the offset. Much higher chance of a direct, no-fuss fit.
Okay.
The crucial thing, though, is check the listing. Make sure you're getting the 12mm hex version. Some older JC listings might still mention the old 3-pin mount for the original HotShot.
Right. Don't want that unless you specifically need it and have adapters.
Exactly. No need for adapters on the 2012 Super HotShot. Stick to 12mm hex.
JC Racing sounds like a safer bet for fitment then. Any other types of wheels?
Sure, you can definitely look at general aftermarket 110 4WD buggy 2.2 wheels. Think brands like Proline, aka J Concepts.
Okay.
Key things here. Remember to choose the narrower front wheels meant for 4WD buggies and standard width rear buggy wheels. Dish-style wheels often give good clearance inside.
And the offset gamble again?
Yep. Offset is still key. Race-focused wheels especially might need careful checking to ensure they clear everything on the Super HotShot.
Right. What about if you're on a tighter budget? Any options there?
Yeah, definitely. Brands like Arcadong, UMXUDO, HRCQO, you often find complete budget-friendly wheel and tire sets marketed for the HotShot or Super HotShot.
Toy mounted.
Sometimes, yeah. They're usually around 62mm outer diameter. Widths are typically okay, like 34mm front, 36mm rear.
So they could be a good starting point.
Absolutely. A cost-effective way to get into the 2.2-inch size. Quality might not be top-tier Pro Line level, but for general bashing, often perfectly fine.
Okay. And there was one more. Aluminum.
Yeah.
Racing.
Ah, yes. The WL Aero 174GD aluminum option, listed as 57mm outer diameter, so probably a 2.2-inch bead. Widths are 28mm front, 35mm rear.
And designed for the HotShot family.
Supposedly, yes. But again, just double-check if it's direct 12mm hex or needs adapters. Listings can sometimes be ambiguous.
Okay. A fair few wheel choices then. Focus on 2.2 bead, 12mm hex, and watch that offset like a hawk.
That's the summary.
Right, let's move on to the bit you said is the real game changer for all-terrain, the tires.
Absolutely. Tires are everything. They're your only contact with the ground, right? They'll make the biggest difference to how your Super HotShot actually performs across different surfaces.
And when we say all-terrain for a buggy like this, what do we really mean?
We're generally talking about something that can handle, a bit of everything reasonably well. Grass, loose dirt, maybe some gravel, hard-packed dirt, asphalt, concrete.
So a master of none, but good enough everywhere.
Kind of, yeah. It's usually about finding the best compromise, especially for a vintage-style buggy. You don't want it to be amazing on dirt, but useless on the road, or vice versa.
Okay, so what tire characteristics do we need to understand for that mixed-use goal?
Number one is tread pattern. The bumps and grooves on the outside. Huge difference.
Like the stock spikes.
Exactly. Spikes or pin tires, stock Tamiya, Schumacher mini spikes, Proline hole shots, they have lots of little pins that dig into loose stuff. Great off-road grip.
But the downside?
Wear out fast on pavement. Those little pins just get ground down. Smaller, more numerous pins tend to be a bit more versatile than big, chunky spikes.
Okay, what else?
Then you have block or stud tires, like Tamiya oval blocks or dual blocks. Bigger, more solid blocks of rubber.
How do they perform?
Generally a good middle ground. More durable on pavement than pins, still decent grip on harder dirt, but really aggressive block patterns can sometimes feel a bit floaty or squirmy on asphalt, and they still wear.
Okay, spikes for loose stuff, blocks for a compromise, any other types?
You get mini lug or all-terrain specific patterns, like the Proline Dirt Hog, designed specifically for mixed use, balancing off-road bite with better on-road stability and wear.
And pure street tires.
Yeah, street treads or slicks, Traxxas Anacondas, Proline Street Fighters, great on pavement, obviously, but absolutely terrible off-road. You'll just spin.
Right. So tread pattern is key. What about the rubber itself? the compounds.
Super important. This is the hardness of the rubber. Soft compounds give the most grip.
Why is that?
The rubber can deform more easily, kind of mold itself to the surface, find traction. Great on loose dirt or in cooler weather. Think Proline M3, M4, S3, or Schumacher Yellow and Silver.
But the trade-off is wear again.
Always. Soft rubber wears faster, especially on abrasive surfaces like asphalt.
So what are the other options?
Medium compounds, like Proline M2, Schumacher Blue or Green, they aim for that balance between grip and lifespan. A good all-around choice often.
And hard compounds.
Hard compounds are really for minimizing wear on high-grip surfaces like carpet tracks or maybe very abrasive asphalt, but you sacrifice a lot of grip, especially off-road.
So for mixed use, probably medium or maybe medium soft.
Yeah, that's usually the sweet spot. Maybe an M2, M3, or Schumacher Yellow, depending on exactly where you drive most.
Okay. We also talked about overall diameter, OD. Stock is 88 millimeter. What's the range for 2.2 tires?
Modern 2.2 buggy tires are usually somewhere between, say, 81 millimeters and 91 millimeter OD.
So pretty close to the stock, 88 millimeter.
Generally, yeah. Some might be a bit smaller, some a bit larger. Like HotShots might be 85, 86 millimeters. Dirt Hogs may be closer to 90 millimeters. Staying near 88 millimeter helps keep things consistent, remember?
Right. And finally, width. Stock is a 31 millimeter front, 38 millimeter rear. What about aftermarket?
Pretty similar ranges. 4WD buggy front tires are typically 28 millimeter to 34 millimeter wide. Rears usually 38 millimeter to 42 millimeter. So again, generally in the same ballpark as the stock Super HotShot dimensions.
Okay, that's a lot to digest on tires. Tread, compound, diameter, width.
It is, but like you said earlier.
For a versatile Super HotShot, maybe good enough on most surfaces is better than amazing on just one?
Exactly. That's the key for enjoyable all-around performance. Often means looking at mini pin or small block patterns, maybe in a medium soft compound. Avoid the extremes unless you only drive on one surface type.
So let's name some names. Specific tire recommendations for good mixed on-road off-road with 2.2 wheels.
Okay, a brilliant starting point is the Proline HotShot 3.0. Maybe an M3 soft compound or even M4 super soft if you favor off-road grip.
Need specific front and rear versions.
Absolutely. Make sure you get the 4WD buggy fronts and the standard rears. They're just super versatile race tires. The small pins work almost everywhere off-road. M3 gives okay wear on-road.
And foams.
Usually come with good closed cell foams included. Makes them a great package deal. Kind of a works everywhere tire.
HotShots, got it. What's another strong option?
The Schumacher Mini Spike, especially in yellow compound, which is soft.
Therefore.
Amazing on grass, astroturf, softer dirt. It's kind of the benchmark for those surfaces.
But need to be careful ordering.
Yes. Critically important verify. You're getting the 110 scale buggy front and buggy rear versions. Schumacher makes mini spikes for other cars too.
And the compound?
Yellow is soft, great grip off-road, but yeah, faster wear on tarmac.
Foams included.
Often not included with Schumacher tires. So you'll need to buy good closed cell foams separately, essential for performance.
Okay, mini spikes, if off-road, especially grass, is key. What about something maybe leaning a bit more towards on-road, but still capable off it?
Then you look at the Proline Dirt Hog Eye in M2 medium compound.
Buggy specific again.
Yes, check the part numbers. Rear 1071-000, front 1073-000, usually. Classic all-terrain design. Good on hardpack, pavement, short grass.
And the M2 compound helps with wear.
Exactly. More durable than M3 or yellow. The tread is less aggressive too, so it feels better on road, less wear. Just be aware they might be slightly larger OD than stock.
Dirt hogs for more pavement use.
Yeah.
Okay, what if someone wants to stay Tamiya?
Tamiya has their dual block tires in C compound.
Specific part numbers.
Yep. Front 54187 for their 6225 wheels. Rear 54188 for their 6235 wheels. It's Tamiya's versatile block pattern. The C compound probably offers a decent balance. Designed for their own 2.2 wheels. Good for a Tamiya-focused build.
In those budget multi-packs we mentioned, any tire gems there?
You can definitely find decent options. Brands like HIRCQO, Shergu, or Kadong. They often do sets around 85 millimeter OD, right? Widths, 12 millimeter hex, often include foams.
Tread patterns.
Often copies of famous designs, actually.
So good value.
Can be excellent value for just bashing around. Compound quality, foam quality. It might vary, but for the price, often surprisingly good for mixed casual use.
Great. A really solid list of tire options there. Now let's talk about the unsung heroes. Tire foam inserts, you said they're critical?
Absolutely critical. They are not just stuffing. Remember, RC tires aren't pneumatic. They don't hold air like your car tires. The foam is the entire support structure.
So what does it actually do?
It holds the tire's shape, supports the car's weight, stops the tire collapsing in corners. It hugely influences grip and handling. Running without foams, the car would be basically undrivable.
Right. And you mentioned open cell versus closed cell. Quick refresher.
Sure. Open cell is softer, more squishy, can give good grip on really bumpy stuff because it flexes more,
Nice.
less durable, absorbs water like a sponge, breaks down over time. Performance becomes inconsistent.
So closed cell is better.
Generally, yes. Closed cell is the modern standard, holds its shape way better, much more durable, water-resistant, less affected by temperature, just gives much more consistent, predictable handling.
Okay, closed cell preferred. What about foam density? Soft, medium, firm?
That affects how much the foam resists compression. Soft foams allow more tire flex. Good for maybe smooth, high-grip tracks. Can feel less precise on rough stuff.
Medium.
Medium density is usually the best all-around choice for mixed surfaces. Good balance of support and flex.
And firm.
Firm foams give maximum support. Good for preventing tires sidewall roll on low-grip surfaces or maybe on super high-bite tracks to stop traction rolling, but can feel harsh over bumps.
So for our versatile super HotShot, what's the recommendation?
Definitely prioritize closed cell. And for that mixed-use balance, medium density closed cell is almost always the sweet spot.
Any specific brands to look for?
Good ones include Proline V2 foams, aka closed cell, J-Concepts Dirt Tech, Witt's Racing Products makes good ones too. Just don't skimp on foams, they're a real tuning part.
Got it. Closed cell, medium density. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's put it all together. You've got 3 recommended combos. Let's hear combo 1, the balanced all-terrainer.
Okay, for maximum versatility, wheels. Tamiya DF03 large dish, with that little caveat about potential front rubbing, remember?
Tires.
Proline HotShot 3.0 and M3 compound, fronts and rears.
Foams.
The included Proline closed cell foams that come with the whole shots.
And the rationale.
Just a really broad range of good performance. Familiar Tamiya wheels, super adaptable whole shot tires, good quality foams included, great all-rounder.
That's some balance.
Okay.
Combo 2, off-road dominator with on-road capability. Leaning more off-road here.
Definitely. Wheels. JC Racing 2.2 for HotShot, the 12mm hex version for best fit.
Tires.
Schumacher mini spike, yellow compound. Make sure you get the 110 buggy front rear versions.
Foams, since they're not included.
Need to add good ones. Schumacher medium closed cell, or maybe Proline V2s. Something quality.
Why this combo?
Prioritizes off-road grip with those legendary mini spikes. JC Racing wheels for likely best fit. Quality closed cell foams are absolutely vital here to make the tires work properly. Great if off-road is your main playground.
Makes sense. And finally, combo 3, on-road biased all-rounder for more pavement time.
Exactly. But still want some off-road ability. Wheels. Any reputable 12mm hex 2.2 4WD buggy wheels with the right offset. Proline Velocity, maybe even tested budget options.
Tires.
Proline Dirt Hog I in M2 compound. Buggy front and rear versions.
Foams.
If the Dirt Hogs come with open cell, upgrade to good quality medium closed cell. Definitely worthwhile.
And the thinking here.
Leans on road with a durable M2 compound and less aggressive tread.
Good.
Still handles light off-road like hard pack or short grass. Plus, the potentially slightly larger OD might give a touch more top speed on the street.
Excellent. 3 great starting points depending on your focus. Now, before people run off and buy stuff, any crucial installation tips or final thoughts?
Yes, definitely. First, tire gluing. It's essential unless you buy pre-mounts.
Use CA glue.
Yep, specific RC, tire CA glue. Clean the wheel channel and a tire bead really well first. Thin, even bead of glue. Work in small sections. Hold it till it sets. Let it cure fully. Lots of good tutorials online. Don't skip this.
Okay, gluing is key. What else?
After mounting, check for rubbing. Turn the wheels full lock left and right. Compress the suspension. Check everywhere.
And if it rubs?
Usually means the wheel offset is wrong. Minor rubbing, maybe shims or body pruning can fix it. Major rubbing. You need different wheels.
Good check. What about tire diameter changes in gearing?
Good point. If your new tires are significantly bigger or smaller than the stock 88mm.
It affects the final drive ratio.
Exactly. Bigger tires equals higher top speed, maybe slower acceleration, more heat. Consider a smaller pinion gear on the motor.
Smaller tires.
Quicker acceleration, lower top speed. Maybe consider a slightly larger pinion. Always monitor motor and ESC temps after changing tire size, especially with the stock motor.
Okay, watch the temps. Anything else?
Just quickly, make sure foams fit nicely inside the tire. Snug, but not bunched up or overly squashed. Good pre-shaped closed cells are usually fine for bashing.
And venting tires.
Some people poke small holes in tires or wheels. helps prevent ballooning at high speed, lets moisture out, less critical with closed cell phones, and just general driving, maybe.
Fantastic. Okay, let's quickly recap the big takeaways then.
Right. The 12mm hex on the 2012 Super HotShot, huge plus for upgrades.
Moving to 2.2-inch wheels opens up tons of tire options.
Your tire choice really dictates performance on different terrains. That's the biggest factor.
And don't forget those foams. Closed cell, medium density for versatility seems the way to go.
Yep. We mentioned specific wheels like JC Racing for fit, and great all-around tires like Proline HotShots, Schumacher mini spikes for off-road bias, Proline Dirt Hogs for on-road bias.
And install properly. Glue carefully. Check for rubbing. Think about gearing if the tire size changes significantly.
That's the checklist.
So maybe a final thought for people listening.
Yeah, definitely. Really think about where you will actually drive your Super HotShot the most. What's your primary surface?
Because that should guide the choices.
Absolutely. While we focus on getting a good all-around setup, knowing if you're mostly on tarmac or mostly in the dirt should be your main guide. Once you have a good baseline all-terrain setup like we discussed, you can always experiment further. Try different compounds, different tread patterns, really dial it in for your specific playground.
Excellent advice. Well, thanks for diving deep into the world of Super HotShot wheels and tires with us today.
My pleasure. Lots to think about.
Indeed. Until our next deep dive.